Welcome back to the Triple P Network. Your boy here, ready to give you thoughts on the war with Iran. So as you all know, I'm a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. Not a combat veteran, but I did go through a lot of life-threatening experiences in the military. I was trained for combat. And also I went through a lot of life-threatening experiences on the streets before I joined the military. So even though I'm not as qualified as a combat veteran to give you an opinion on the current war with Iran, I think I'm still qualified because I know and I've seen the dark nature of man, including inside myself, because, I've been hurt by people and I've hurt people. I don't want to go back to that, but what y'all probably should be thinking about is something that I don't want to go back to. You may have to go back to. You may have to actually go to that in the future. And what I'm talking about is peace and prosperity. Now, everybody and their grandmother, from the time they pop out of the womb until the time they take their last breath, pretty much everybody, unless, you got some kind of psychological screw missing, pretty much everybody wants peace and prosperity. But the question is, how do you get there? Do you get there by letting millions and millions of people be oppressed in other countries when you have the ability to do something about it? I don't care what your excuse is. To me, anytime the bad guys get taken out, I'm all for it. I don't care what the reason is. As long as the bad guys are gone, I don't care if you're doing it for oil, money, foreign interests, people donating to your campaign and your fucking business that you're going to have a year from now. I don't care what the reason is, as long as the bad guys get taken out, right? Because in my opinion, I think most people would want the same dream that I want, right? To have the earth be a place where all human beings, no matter what culture, your background you come from, get to enjoy peace and prosperity. But we all know that the world ain't like that. We all know there's a bunch of crazy, bloodthirsty sickos out there, right? So I've always been the type of person, and I think maybe that's why I joined the military, because growing up, the way I grew up, I think the streets reinforced that. The streets reinforced to me that there's a lot of bad people out there. And you know what? I need to be prepared to protect myself and my family just in case potentially, mass anarchy, World War III, any of those, Terminator 2, you never know, especially with AI. But what would you do to get the earth to where we want it to be? Peace and prosperity. Ain't that the first step? Eliminating all the bad guys? But you can't just do another Vietnam. You can't just do another Iraq. Why? Because most people look at that as a waste of time. You're spending blood, treasure, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Generations to get affected. That, generation of families that didn't even serve a war. Because, what I say, if one military person, one member of a family serves, the whole family serves. But let's go back to that question. What are you willing to sacrifice to get there? If I was in charge, my thoughts would be two things. How does this benefit American people? And how does this benefit the Iranian people the millions of Iranian people who have been suffering for decades, in oppression? It's inhumane. And dare I say, let's go get Iran And then let's go get North Korea next. You know what I'm saying? Let's get rid of all these tyrants. How about it? Let's just get rid of them. I know it's a huge, huge, huge ask, right? Because you're asking your sons and your daughters to sacrifice potentially their lives for the greater good. But think about this, right? And this is the same, because there was several reasons why I joined the military. But this is definitely one of the reasons why I made it through the 3-month hell of Marine Corps boot camp in Parris Island. Because I knew that if I ever got sent to war, you know what I'm saying, or if I, not necessarily war, if I ever died or got injured, which I did, I got injured serving our country. I got messed up, you know what I'm saying, doing my duty. But I always thought to myself before that happened to me that, you know, it don't matter. Why? It don't matter what happens to me. All that matters is that this world is fucked up now. And if we do what it takes to make sure that it ain't fucked up later, the future generations will appreciate that. They're going to say the same thing we say about the greatest generation. And you know who the greatest generation is? They're the ones who saved us in World War II, right? They sacrificed their lives, their arms, their limbs, you know what I'm saying, their own personal fucking comfort so that you and me can live in this fucking free society that we do now. And every day I sit there for the last few years watching, you know what I'm saying, the Iranian people and the other people, North Korea and Africa, you know what I'm saying, and all these, Malaysia, all these countries, you know what I'm saying, fucking Venezuela, you know what I'm saying, fucking Cuba, all these countries where people are oppressed. Fucking tired of it. You know what I'm saying? We got the world's greatest military. Let's fucking use it. Otherwise, what's the point of having it? Just to protect ourselves? That's why everybody's trying to come in here. And you know, I don't care how big your wall is. I don't care how many TSA agents you got, but the government's on shutdown, so you got a lot less of them. I don't care how many people you got in the FBI or the CIA. The motherfuckers hate you, they're going to slip in one way or the other. Look to the future, man. You got to look to the future. And the future is, we are all just names on a tombstone, son. How are you going to enjoy this shit? How are you going to enjoy living on this planet with all these people suffering? Let's go fucking do something about it, man. Let's go kill the bad guys, man. We had enough of this shit. Now, I ain't no warmonger, right? I ain't. But this shit been a long time coming. I ain't talking about, you know what I'm saying, Obama putting in there a fucking nuclear deal, which, no, we didn't give Iran money. We just returned their money that we froze in exchange for them to stop enriching uranium. That was the deal. 2015, right? Guess what happened? The American people spoke. And in 2016, they elected President Trump. And in 2018, President Trump pulled out of the deal. Right? So you can't really trust the Trump administration now because they were part of the process that put us where we are now. Because they killed the deal. What do you think the Iranians are thinking, right? Now, we know the Iranian regime is all fucking corrupt and everything. But the Iranians is like, you know what? Fuck, y'all motherfuckers backed out of the deal, green light. I mean, obviously they was looking for a green light anyway because they're scumbags. But if we had kept our word and kept in the deal, you know what I'm saying? Maybe this shit wouldn't have happened. Now, I ain't some conspiracy theorists saying that Trump freaking ended the deal just so he could start a war because, you know what I'm saying, he wanted to do that. I ain't trying to say that. It's not a real possibility. But what's the end game? If you want to start a war, what's the end game? I can tell you what my end game is. Let's go kill the bad guys. Why? And why do I think it's worth it? Because the world would be a safer place. And then I don't have to worry about having my kids do the same thing I did, join the military just to protect the homeland. Why? Because the world's a safer place. There's no bad guys left. But you don't need a nuclear bomb to do that. There's 2 ways you can get rid of the bad guys. Everybody be nice to everybody. 1, that's the best option. You know what the second option is? Smoke them. So, I'm going to leave you with this, man. yo, I'm in the gutless middle. I'm an independent. I ain't a fucking conservative or liberal. I ain't no warmonger or I ain't anti-war. But what I will tell you is something that we did in the Marine Corps whenever we was busting our ass at work and we had to take a break, right? Smoke them if you got them. How about that?